good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, it's episode 42 of the Rant. And today we're going to be talking about cutting corners. Hello, what's going on? Hope you're all doing good. Welcome to the show. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And if you just missed out, I just did a previous show which has inspired today's show. In the show I just did, if you want to go back and have a look at it, we took a look at a really cool set of MIDI drum packs over here at Ugratone. For creating drums, metal drums. This is a great pack which gives you like over 4,500 drum MIDI loops that you can just import into Logic or whatever it is that you use, and use your own drum kits and use some drums. And that inspired today's rant, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff happening, a lot of chitter chatter around since Logic Pro has dropped for both iOS and for the Mac, with all their new AI features. I say AI because I don't like even saying it, because it just doesn't even feel like that. But we'll get further into that in a moment. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to our Wart Warriors. You can become a Wart Warrior by clicking the join button down below, or the link that is normally provided or in the description. It's $1 a month. Help support the channel and all that jazz. And yeah. Let's say hello to you all. There's the man, the legend, more than a myth. It's Thomas Christ. He's the gun-slinging, link-slinging legend that you know and love, who plays your most rockin' music each and every week. What the hell am I doing? Hello, Thomas. Good to see you as always. Hugh Caldwell's in the house. Hobbs is here too. G'day, Hobbs. Barry Glenn, Legs 11, Samtex Cow. I think I see Leela right up the top, maybe. I'm going back over to the last chat because it's all still showing for me, the last chat. Hello. And if you're watching and lurking, good stuff. Welcome to the rant. We're going to rant today. And I want to hear your opinion on this too, because it seems to be a contentious thing that I don't even know why. I don't know why, man, because... All right, so Logic dropped these amazing things recently. All right, let's start here. AI, man, it's everywhere you go. But here's the thing with AI. If you notice, like I've done shows on AI, yeah. I've definitely done shows on Suno and Udio and shown you them. And hey, I've shown you where they scrape their music from too, and how dodgy a practice it is. And there's a lot of music channels out there who are showing these things too, going, is this the end of music and all this stuff? And you know what? Don't buy into it. It's bullshit fear. Look, there's so much fear every day, everywhere you look. You turn on the news, you turn on YouTube, there's so much fear. Everybody needs to get your eyes on them, because fear is an amazing marketing tool, yeah? Get people riled up, start bullshit rumors and all this stuff just to get people riled up and get people scared that they shouldn't say certain things and all this stuff. And then you've got people that are complaining that this is too woke and I can't say terrible things because, you know, I shouldn't have to be held accountable for being an absolute fucking piece of right? So there's already so much fear around. Do we need to have on our shoulders more fear about like AI music, right? No, we don't. Is it going to affect us? No, it will affect you if you let it affect you. If you let this shit affect you, then it will affect you. It will affect the way you make music. You'll notice some of the biggest YouTube channels that are really talking up AI music or AI art and all this stuff are people who are talentless. You know what I'm saying? They're mostly channels that are dedicated to AI. All their videos are on either AI video, AI music, AI photos of art. They're talentless. They don't know how to do any of this shit, right? And if it wasn't for us making music, no matter what skill level you are at, the AI has nothing to scrape from. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care. You can bring out your pitchforks and try and take me down and say whatever you want. I don't really care. AI is never going to replace human beings. It doesn't have a brain. It doesn't feel anything. It's a emotionless piece of collection of data that is scraped from us. And eventually it's just going to start mutating from itself, and it's not going to get better, right? Because all it is doing is just scraping music and trying to glue it all together, and there will always be artifacts. It will never have the professional sound that a human being has with all of the tools that we use. Yeah, now remember, everything we use is a tool. If you want to sit there and say stuff like, no, I don't know, using loops is cheating. I don't know, using MIDI is cheating. I don't know, using the new drummers and keyboard players in Logic is cheating. Well, because you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Everything that we use and adore, from loops to these new AI players or MIDI stuff that has been pre-made, these are all tools. They always have been tools. If you want to say that that is cheating and cutting corners, then so is adding EQ to your guitar. So is adding compression. So is adding the voice stuff. What's that shit called? the T-Pain stuff, the auto-tune. Right? What happens with the world is this. New things come out and people use fear. They always have. It's just fear, 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 fear. This thing's going to take over and we're going to be doomed. And it's never happened, ever, 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 ever. Sure, there will be jobs lost. There's jobs lost with all new technologies. I've talked about this on other rants. But when we're talking about making music, these are just tools. Think about this, right? Hello, G-May and Leela. And Pascal, g'day to you. I don't want to be right. Question. You always got to question everything. You know, that's the thing. But listen, if you're sitting here and buying into the bullshit that people are throwing out there going, oh, this is going to be the end of musicians. This is going to be the end. No, the only thing that's happening, right, with AI music and this bullshit Suno, you know what? And Princess, g'day, Princess. Go listen to the songs. They're garbage. They're all garbage, right? The phrasing's always wrong. It's always messy. They shit. You can tell it's AI music. You can tell. And if you are sitting there going, I'm scared of this thing, you're the problem. Get over that, man. You are better than that. Even whatever level you are at, you are better than that because you can get better. Right? For all this talk of AI is going to get better, AI is going to get better, but so can you. And again, it just comes back to without us, without people making stuff, without artists making stuff, without people creating videos and such, there's no data for them to scrap. And the only thing that's going to happen, that is happening and will happen, let me tell you, right? Scam artists, aka AI companies, right, who are just throwing this stuff to the wall, scraping all the data, they are going to go down. They are going to go down. Once the government's put in place legislation to show where they're scraping their data from, right, they will go down. They will have to pay significant fines. The record labels, you know, look, we know what the record labels are like. We're in the industry. They're a bunch of and they want their money. They want to squeeze every goddamn cent out of us. Look at Spotify, man. Spotify, they just want to squeeze every goddamn nothing money that we make to go give to other people who don't need it, right? So the record labels, they're assholes. They're going to go after this and they're going to litigate. And these companies are going to scurry under the goddamn house like the rats that they are, trust me. And all the people that are making this music, you can hear it straight away. You can hear it. You can tell it's AI generated, right? You can just tell. And you're always going to be able to, right? Because it has no soul, has no passion. So that gets me into, there's already people who are using loops and stuff. If you open any door these days, they are full of loops. And look, I remember a time when you'd sit there and say, but he's using loops. Are you a musician if you're using loops? Well, why not? Why not? You're not a musician if you're using loops and just dragging them in one after another, not layering them, not chopping them, and not making them your own, right? Then you're a robot. You're not being creative, because making music, like I used to be really cynical, yeah? Being a metalhead, right? If you've ever known metalheads a long time ago, metalheads are very stubborn, and we'd look at like, let me speak, I can only speak for myself. You look at other music like Elton John and go, I hate that music, right? It's not, or I used to look at dance music when I was younger and go, but it's not music. That's not music. And with age, you start to understand it is music, right? It is. Music, it comes in many, many forms. And even if somebody's using loops, the creative part is putting those loops together to create a song structure, to create hooks, to make them work together, to actually emote and make them more than just a drum sound, more than just a keyboard part here. You know, it's part of the work of structuring a song and having it mean something and create ups and downs and velocities and emotions and ebbs and flows and taking you on a journey. But again, if you're just going to like drag a bunch of loops in one after another, guess what? You're going to get copyright claimed up the fucking wazoo. So that's on you. And it's not going to sound good. So, you know, there's a level of skill I've grown to understand with using loops, and you can make something really incredible music. And I'm sure there's still some people out there who'll be like, but using loops, it's not really... No. If there's a human behind it sitting there, putting it together and coming up with something, then it is. It's not cutting corners, in my opinion. Yeah, those loops are out there. People have made them copyright free for you to use them. Hey, why not? Because not everybody is a musician or can pick up every instrument and understand how to play them. And getting back to AI music, stuff like Suno and Udio, well, that's just utter shit, isn't it? If that's what you've decided to go, you know what, I'm going to create an album using that, then yes, you are a talentless dick sitting there just letting something else generate using other people's stuff. And that's cutting corners so much so that, I mean, that's cutting the entire block, you know. And that's why you see so many videos on YouTube of people going, it's amazing, it's like changing, it's going to change music. These are the people who don't make music. They don't understand that we can hear it's crap. Recently, on my Patreon, and if you'd like to become a Patreon, there it is. Become a Patreon at patreon.com/Jade Starr. Each week, people send in their songs for me to master. And 2 weeks ago, somebody in the community, sent me a song to master live on the show. And as we were all listening to it, I was going, hang on a minute. I'm pretty sure this is AI. And it was. It totally was. And, you know, they weren't trying to pass it off, this person, as their own song. They were just trying to make something funny. And we all picked it straight away. It was AI, clearly. And it's always going to be like that, yeah, because it just is. So we talked about loops a little bit. Hello, Robbie Stingle. What's happening? Jay's out walking right now. Yeah, you are right, G-May. I am out right now, and I am an AI. I'm artificially intelligent. Not being able to play an instrument should not be a barrier to a person's ability to create music. Yes, absolutely. And what was one of the key selling differences from GarageBand on iOS compared to a Mac? Not only is it, well, it's free on both surfaces, but if we open up GarageBand, to me, why is my GarageBand not opening? Is that a problem for anyone else? Or is this just me? My GarageBand's not opening. Has anybody else, Thomas, have you had this problem? Do I have to do a reset of GarageBand or something? Will that fix it? Shit, that's weird. That's since the update. That recent update. Damn. How do I fix that? Has anybody else had that problem? I can't even open up GarageBand to show you what I'm trying to show you. GarageBand on iOS, it's not opening for me. It's just crashing to home screen. Maybe I should try a reset here in, let's just quickly see if I can do this. Where is it? Where's GarageBand? GarageBand. Reset GarageBand. Do you have to leave it on? Still, look at that. Well, isn't that new? Nice. I don't know how to fix that. Do I have to reinstall it? Wow. Well, I can't show you that because GarageBand's no longer working on my iOS device. That's nice. Good stuff. I'm sure somebody's probably had it. Yeah. Anyway, but with GarageBand, you were able to open up the auto players and it would just generate piano parts for you and acoustic guitar parts and all of this stuff and auto drummers. Is that cheating? Because I used it a hell of a lot when I was putting together my album, you know, because I'm not a really good pianist. So that 3 times fast. So what would I have to do? I would use those auto parts and try and make something from that before I knew how to play piano better than what I do now because I'm not really that good. But even some of the parts, I didn't have a bass for a long time. So I would load up GarageBand. I've got that auto bass in there. I could start by getting a simple picking thing going on. Is that cheating as well? I mean, it's not AI, but it's still the same thing. It's still like generating something. So, you know, and there's been a lot of times, I mean, I've been critical of people using the GarageBand drums for a long time because a lot of the same drum rolls are in every single kit. So if everybody's using it, you start to hear the same drums happening over and over and you go, oh, that's GarageBand. You can tell from that. But is it cheating? Is it cutting corners? I don't think so. Not at all. Right? Because again, you've got to chop that up. You've got to put that into the song. It's not always going to be exactly how you want it to be. And, you know, there's that. So you can, let's see. It's just like hiring. Yes. Here's the thing too. This is the other thing. People in time in memoriam have, right, hired musicians. People have done that. And it's from the Beatles to whoever you can think of have session musicians. So absolutely it's not cheating, right? Who's got the money to go and hire somebody and bring somebody in and do all that kind of stuff? We are in an age where we have the technology to do this stuff, so why not? But again, it gets me to the point of like, hey, Suno and Udio are trash. That's completely just skipping over everything. If you go back and watch my show on Suno and Udio, I actually scraped a website to find out what the tags were. I copied those tags, put them into Udio from a Slayer song, and it basically made a Slayer song without even mentioning Slayer. I just used the exact tags. So they're scraping their music from real artists, you know, and that's going to come crashing down at some stage. Let me catch my breath for a minute. But yes, I've worked as a session vocalist in my lifetime of playing music, gone into people's studios, been paid to go and do backup vocals. Am I an AI? No, absolutely not. Right? Do I pay for Logic? Of course, I pay for a subscription. So I have every right to use those things. So you've got loops. We've covered loops. Now, in my last show, we were looking at these MIDI drums. Where are they? So let's jump over here. say at least Logic's working, good stuff. So in the last show I just did, we took a look at these packs, and if I swipe across here, here are all these 4,500 MIDI loops that you can just drag into your project, yeah? Is this cheating to have people pre-program loops? Well, listen, I play drums, and if you go and listen to my body of work, like I play drums okay, pretty good enough to be in a band, yeah? So that's a thing. But do I have time to sit there and painstakingly record drums when I have this YouTube channel that takes up so much of my life? Absolutely not. So I went ahead for the first time ever and purchased a whole pack of like 4,500 drum loops because it's going to save me some time. And most of the beats I'm going to play anyway, right? I'm going to be able to play them, so that's no problem. And here's the thing. If you use something like a loop or a MIDI like this, and I go in and change this, let's select the track. Where are we? We want to jump out of this. Select the track. I can change any of these. I can change them. I can remove kick drums. I can add snares. I can do whatever I want. Once I change one of these, two of these notes, that's mine. I've changed it. I can turn this into double kicks. I can do whatever I want. It's now mine. It's been modified, yeah? So, and there's no copyright on these things, so nobody's going to sit there and go, oh my God, you've used that drum kit. Drum beats are fucking stunts. How are you going to copyright that stuff? There are people out there, though, there are weirdos out there who actually try and copyright drum beats, loop beats and stuff like that, and MIDI beats. Again, these are people who don't know how to make music, pieces of shit, people who probably are using Suno right now. There are musicians out there who are so talentless, so scared to get better in themselves that they just remain consistently crap, right? And just never progress, never practice, and just doodle and shit. And they will use shit like Suno or Udio or whatever because they're talentless. They can't actually write music because they're too fucking lazy. And see, in an instant, right, I can drag in these drums and... Fuck yeah! Here's the thing, nobody's going to hear that. If I finish that song and then release that, nobody's sitting out there and they're going to be listening to that and go, I like that song, that's really good, but I hope it wasn't made using MIDI drums from Ugratone, because if it is, you know what? I don't think I like it anymore. Nobody's going to do that shit. Nobody does that. Nobody sits there and says stuff like, oh, I wonder what DAW this was made in. If it wasn't GarageBand, then it can... no, I don't like it. Nobody does that, right? It sounds like a real drummer. It doesn't matter if I played my electronic drum kit over here to play the notes in, or I use my keyboard over here to tap in all the drum beats. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Does it all come together to sound like a song? Yeah, if it rocks, man. That's it. And you can see these are real guitar parts in here. I've got a bass guitar, but you know what? I could very easily use the auto bass player in here as well too to do those bass parts. We have tools now in here like the chord thing. I can go in and put these chords in, and I can add the MIDI bass in if I want very easily, you know. Let's just delete this. I didn't want to do that. So nobody's going to sit there and go, oh my God, that's had MIDI drums in it. The majority of drums these days, go and watch Glenn Fricker, right? Glenn Fricker does his shows where people send in their songs, their metal songs, and he sits there and critiques them, tells them what they can do. And one of his biggest complaints is everybody's using the same samples, because we all don't have the luxury these days of having rehearsal rooms and a drummer and all this kind of stuff. We just want to make music, and we have the tools to do it. So not cutting corners, in my opinion. So this is where we get to the point of, like, you know, I'm going to keep going back to Suno and Udio because they're utter shit. And the only time I use them is to make dumb songs, like for my Gladys Worthington thing, like this.
She's always ready to
But listen to the quality of it. Listen to the vocal.
A helping hand, she's here to lend.
It sounds shit.
So write your question and just send to Gladys Worthington.
Even the phrasing, shit.
She's delightfully old, and her breath smells like mold.
Right, sure, it's funny, and it was quick to make because I don't want to sit there and waste time and make a stupid opening for Gladys Worthington. So it's absolutely great for that. Throw away, I don't really care. Whatever, it's not anything I'm going to release or put any love into. It does, it sounds like an MP3 file that's like been shared across like, all these sharing sites, and each time it's lost quality. It sounds like it's got bad phase in it and everything. And it's never going to get any better than that. It really isn't. It can't. You know why? Because it's using the technology that we have now that you can find in Logic to split songs. That's what it's doing. It's scraping the internet, finding these songs, scraping the drums, scraping the guitars, and then it's gluing it all back together. So it's never going to have high quality. And at the same time, like I said before, if you want to get like all pedantic about this stuff, then using a compressor is cheating and cutting corners, right? Using an EQ is cutting corners because, you know, you're faking your sound. That's not the sound that came through your amp. Hey, Smitty, what's going on? And Endeavour Sports, what's going on? Have I missed anyone who's here? Miami Christine, hello. I get to take a break and stop ranting for a second. Got on. Take Jason Becker, for example, an amazing guitarist that lost the ability to play because of ALS. He still creates amazing music through available tech. See? Absolutely. This is the thing. Scraping this to steal cheats. But yeah, I don't think it's cheating. I don't think it is at all. Hello, Jenny. What's going on? So let's move over to, so we've looked at the MIDI drums. I don't think that stuff's cheating. Why not? Why? You know, even dragging loops in, because you can change them. We have the ability to mess with them, change the time, we can warp them. There's so many apps that can do just whacked out things. I've covered how many apps on this show that just do bonkers things. You can take something and turn it into something completely different very easily with any app, you know, and all the doors that we have all this magical stuff we can do. We're at the halfway point, folks, so we need to run an ad. We do this halfway through the show each and every day just to please the YouTube overlords. Yes, YouTube overlords. So I run the ad. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube premium subscriber or just skipping the ad. Boom. Run the ad. The ad has been run, and while we're waiting for those who may have to just hit the skip button, let me once again tell you what's happening here this week. Lots of cool stuff. Tomorrow we're taking a look at this Audio Things, brand new app called Things Fold. It's a wave folder. It takes your waveforms and folds them. You'll have to see it to find out tomorrow on the show. Boom. The day after, trust me, talking to drums, we just did the drum show before this with the MIDI drums. This is coming up tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, Patterning 3. It's rad. It's really, really good. Revolutionary, rad drum, rhythms. It's so good, and it's so deep. There's so much you can do with this thing. It's good. Trust me. You're going to want to see this show. And as I said, it is a kind of big music week this week, guitars and drums, because the day after we're looking at these 3 apps in one episode: Goblin, which is a guitar sim, EQ 510, which is an EQ, and Tuner, which is the way we say tuner here in Australia. Tuner. And Tuner's free. It's a tuner that is specifically good for things like 8-string guitars, 7-string guitars, 5-string basses. So really good for that. And it's absolutely free. You can't go wrong with it. This gets me to this. I've seen a lot of people in the last few weeks since Logic dropped on iOS saying, it's great technology, this new stuff in Logic, but I feel like the robots are taking over and they're taking away my ability to make music. And to that I say, bullshit. GarageBand has had this feature for the longest time, this auto player on iOS to generate auto piano parts and auto guitar parts, and there's been plenty of people who previously haven't been able to make music be able to add the parts, because not everybody is a multi-instrumentalist like somebody like Mr. Smith or myself, right? Not everybody's like that. Yeah, so a lot of people are just good at 1 or 2 things, or just one thing, and that's fucking absolutely fine. So where is the problem in this day and age to be able to use some auto drums, also an auto bass player? Absolutely none. And so Logic came out, Apple came out and said, look, we've finally updated the Logic for all those who've subscribed on the iOS devices, and we've added these new session players here. The drummer was already here, but they've just enhanced it even more. They've beefed up the kits and made them, actually now we have drum kits with 3 cymbals. Can you believe it? 3 cymbals. Who would have thought, Apple? And here they are. Look at them. So we've got bass player, keyboard player. Let's start. We'll start with a drummer. Let's do our drummer. Click on it. Bang. It creates an auto drummer. We've got a pop rock kit. Bang. And listen to how good that is. And within a second, we can up the complexity, change the patterns, add the fills. We can add fills in there as well. Let's take down the complexity. We've got fill complexity. We can go in and do details like ghost notes. Change the snare to rim shots, centers, side sticks. We can change the hats to like an open half. Throw in some percussion if we want, some tambourine. I mean, we can actually do a push-pull with the feel and get it to play a little bit behind the beat or forward in the beat. We can change the dynamics, humanize this stuff so it's a little bit human and out of time. So what's the problem? What is the problem? Because here's the thing, if you do all this, Apple have not only given you the power now to do something like this, you can even go up here, click on it, double tap, and say, I don't want to, now that I've got it right, I want to mess with it myself a little bit. And you can take back control. I mean, there's already so much control in here, right? So much control, it's ridiculous. But then you can even split this into MIDI and start deleting notes yourself. Now here it all is. I can take out the shakers if I want. You've got all the toms. So as you can see, you still have utter control, complete and utter control. But for all these people who are freaking out and going, oh, but it feels like it's taking away. No, why? This is just a perfect way to start. And from here, we can add in a bass player. Let's go. Let's add a bass player. Do it like this. Boom. If you just add one in, it's gonna create its own notes as well. We can even do stuff like add in double stops and adding chords, dead notes, pick pickup hits to give it that realism. You can even manually do this stuff. Put in your... change it to a slap beat. I mean... But the same thing goes with this as well. So as soon as you get something that you kind of like, you're not stuck to using it like this. See how here we are. This is the drummer section. If we double tap again, we can convert this to MIDI regions. And now we can go in and change it ourselves. So again, this is not the doom and gloom that people are saying. This is not the end of the world. This is not, it's ridiculous that people are even thinking this. You know, it's the same with, you know, just sidetracking over to AI art and stuff. I used some AI art on one of my album covers, and somebody on Facebook went, "How dare you use AI art? You're ripping off somebody who could have done that art for you." And I'm like, hey, dickhead, I wasn't even going to pay anybody to do it. So how in the world did I just take money out of food out of somebody's mouth? I've never got people to do my artwork. In fact, I don't actually need stuff like Midjourney or any of that stuff. I've been making artwork like, I don't know, let's in things like Studio. If we go over here, see if I can find a project in here. I've been making thumbnails and artwork forever, right? For my album covers, for time immemorial, right? Can't even find one of my Utensils albums. There's probably one in my iCloud. So, like, even look at all this. The Metheist album cover. I don't know if this is actually a project file. Or... So, yeah, look. This is an album cover I made with all parts that I put together to make an album cover. This ain't like MIDI, this ain't Midjourney generated or any shit like that. I was never going to rip it. I was never going to pay anyone for it anyway. I don't need Midjourney. I don't need any of that stuff. And you know what's fun about using that stuff? You can take portions and chop it out and remove the background. And so it's another tool. It's a fucking tool, right? It is a tool. But I'll tell you when it's not a tool is when you are using it solely. What's going on there? Yeah. When you're using it solely just to completely rip off things, you know, and there are people out there who do that. Yeah, there are people out there who absolutely do that. Boom. Am I still live? Yeah, I'm still live. Good. We're all good. So, yeah, for the longest time, I was already making my own, you know, album artwork and all this stuff before AI stuff come along. So there's no problem. There's no ripping off or anything like that. Doge back over to Logic, because then there's the piano. And I'll tell you what, one of the things about making music is a lot of people who play guitar and stuff, they don't know how to play piano. So now we can just click on here, go to our session, hit our keyboard player, bring in this. Now we've got a keyboard player that does this. And I don't know about you, if you're a guitarist and you're ready to, you know, if guitar's your only thing, how awesome is it to have stuff like this, right? And it's not going to sound like stupid Suno or stupid Udio with its low-res, crappy sound. This is something that you're able to make and chop up yourself. You don't like all of this, you want to change the chords up here, you can do that. You can go in here, change the chord structure, split up, ungroup the chords. You can go in and change this chord to something else, double click on it, edit the chord. You have absolutely full and utter control. We can change this to an F, done, F minor. And now when we play this back, and you can make it sound absolute dog shit like that if you want as well. But here we are again with these wonderful instruments that we've been provided. Let me just do an undo, get that back to an A minor because it was a much better chord structure. And even with our piano, just to be able to come in here and let's click on the region, be able to do stuff like move the hands around and make them in an instant. That's wild. And no, I don't feel like at all that I am cheating. I don't feel like my talent is any less. I don't feel scared that this is taking over. There's none of that. I don't feel any of fucking that. In fact, I feel more empowered, much more empowered to make more music, right? Because here's the thing. Let's just cut through the shit. We live in a world, right, where wages are not going up, right? And the price of everything else is going up, electricity, food. Our governments treat us like shit. They don't care. They make us work 2 jobs. They make us bust our ass just to live. Yeah, they don't care about us. And we don't hold them accountable. We have the media and stuff which feeds us fear and all this stuff, constantly keeping us living in fear and all this stuff. And for many of us, music is our creative outlet. It's our place to go, oh man, the whole world seems so absolutely dead. World, right? It's horrible. There's so much anger and negativity and weird shit that goes on. And music is our salvation. If you're an artist, art is your salvation. It's your passion, man. Making videos is your passion. Making music is your passion. And you feel fucking awesome making it. It doesn't matter if you make money from it. You just feel good. But there's no time to do it. Increasingly, there's no fucking time because they just want us scared all the time and they just want us angry and upset, right? But here's the deal. We're the musicians, man. We're the artists. We're the creators. We're the people who shine the light back on society to tell people, no, this is what's going on. This is the world we live in. We are the reflection of the world, right? And if we're constantly in fear and unable to make stuff, then where is the reality check? Where are the comedians? Where are the artists? Where are the performers? Right? So AI can go fuck itself. It absolutely can. It's not going to take over because it has no passion, no drive, no emotion, no nothing, no desperation, nothing. It's just generic shit. It's like modern pop music. No feeling, no nothing. And it's always going to be like that because it's just a bunch of prompts, right? That's it. You'll never hear an AI talk like I just did then. You'll never hear an AI play like when you go and see a live band, man, and the singer's on the stage just going off their chops. You'll never get that with AI. And if you're buying into the fear of that, then more the fool you. So these tools that we have give us something that is more valuable than any money you can make as a musician. I'll tell you what they give you. Time. They save you time to make the stuff, to reflect the shit, the world, the stuff, the sorrow, the joy, the pain, the heartbreak, the love, the anger, all the stuff, yeah? And without the creators, what's the point? Why is music so popular? Why do so many people have subscriptions to Spotify and Apple Music, Bandcamp and all these things? Why do we traipse around to all these channels listening to each other's music? Why am I here showing you all these apps and how to make music? Because it's fucking awesome. And if we have tools that empower us, flesh and blood individuals, to make stuff, then this stuff is great. Loops are great. MIDI files are great. Things like this AI right here, I hate even calling it AI because it's not. Human beings have made this. Human beings made this thing. They played individual parts, slides on the bass, pickup noises, the ghost notes. It was all done by a fucking human and put into this wonderful piece of software that we can now use to save time to make the things that make us happy. So are we cutting corners using this? We're cutting corners with time. That is what we're cutting corners with because we don't have enough of it. to do the things that we truly love. Yeah? And I'm telling you, man, if I go over here and load up this shit, let me just say, let's go here. Let's type it in. Let's go to Audio. Let's just do it. How satisfied are you doing this? I got to log in. Hang on. Let me log in. Log in, blah, blah, blah. You got to log in and serve the overlords. I've got to prove a point. You know what I'm going to do anyway. So here we are at Audio. Let's just go. All right. Write me a death metal song about how shit AI music generation is. Or, go on, off you go. How can anybody be happy? How can anybody find any joy in doing this and then releasing this out and putting this out there and going, this is me, everybody. I typed some words. There's people already doing it, though. This is the thing. There's people, and you can argue till the cows come home and go, yeah, but this opens the door for people making music. Bullshit. It's not true. It's not making music. Things like Logic and GarageBand and the tools that are being made in like mastering tools and so many apps now that are making it easy to make. You have no excuse to use your imagination and actually write stuff. The only excuse is time. Yeah, that is it. We've already covered that. It's only time. Thank you, Semtex Cow. This is a big rant today, isn't it? I'm feeling this shit. I am angry because there's so many AI videos that appear in my feed every day, and every one of them, this bullshit fear of like, it's just going to get better. It's just going to get better. It's just going to get better. No, it's not. You're just going to hope it keeps getting better so you have content because you're a talentless fuck. That's what it is, man. I'm telling you. Let's have a look at this. This show's definitely going to get demonetized, my friends. So if you want to super chat, feel free. Listen how shit that sounds.
Replicated lies, synthetic crashing to choose. Soulless cries, triggering noise, no passion to see. Corrupt co-life with the key. Silicon fails, no echoes of pain. Constantly striving, it's all in vain.
The thing is, right, let's hear the second one. Every vocalist, whenever you type in death metal, sounds like Cannibal Corpse. Every one of them. If you type in thrash, it sounds like Slayer. It's so shit. It's so soulless and empty and rubbish. The timing's always off. The pieces go together and don't make any fucking sense. Like, listen, I've been told my whole life, why do you listen to that metal shit? It has no feeling and it has no like emotion and ups and downs. Bull fucking shit, man. Go to a metal gig, right? Not all of us like the same stuff. To a lot of people, I don't sit there and tell people Britney Spears sucks. I don't listen to it, but fucking, you know, if it makes you happy, and metal makes a lot of people get their emotions out. You know, music gets emotions out in so many different ways. But I hear so much more passion and emotions and ups and downs in recorded real death metal than that shit that we just listened to. Absolute dog shit. I'm telling you, look at the lyrics. Replicated lies, synthetic cries, machine-tuned tunes, soulless tries. Soulless tries. Like, the shit lyrics. It's not smart. You know, here's the thing. AI, it's not intelligent. It's a farce. It's not intelligent. It doesn't get smarter. In fact, it gets dumber. Every time it's used, it gets more stupid. every single time. Why? Because we're using it to type dumb shit in. Yeah? ChatGPT. I mean, you can't get 100% accurate information from that stuff. Why? Because it's scraping information from places like Reddit. Fucking Reddit. Have you been on Reddit? It's a neo-Nazi. There's neo-Nazi groups on there. And that stuff is getting pulled into AI and all this shit, right? It's just rubbish, you know? It does sound like a Cannibal Corpse album. Why? Because they see the word death metal and it scrapes it from. If you go back, Arthur, and have a look at the show I did on Udio, I went to a website and scraped the prompts from a Slayer song and put them in here, and it made virtually a Slayer song with Tom Araya's vocals, because they're scraping the prompts from websites. They're scraping these terms here, like male vocalist, rock, death metal, metal, technical death metal. If I went to a Cannibal Corpse song right now, you would find all of these prompts there. So that's how they're prompting. It's a bag of shit. So in conclusion, because we've got a fantastic artist we're closing the show with today. In conclusion, let me tell you, my friends, we are incredibly lucky as musicians, yeah? We have such fantastic tools, fantastic developers, yeah? I know there's problems, subscriptions and stuff, and it all costs money, and where do we get the money from? But there are so many options out there that you don't have to spend money. And even if you do spend money, there's the opportunity to go to places like YouTube, where you're watching here now, and find out if the thing is what you need. What you want. Is it going to do the thing that you do before you spend the money, right? And all these tools are just here to help us express ourselves. And as long as these companies like Apple and who make Reaper and all of the fantastic DAWs and software that we have continue to push boundaries, and we have modeling now, so you can download apps that sound exactly like beautiful pianos, like Piano Tech, and there's no samples. It's all direct modeling. The technology is just unbelievable. And even in Logic, to have these auto players and be able to take the pressure off and freely create stuff so easily, it's just amazing. Pete John says it all the time. We live in the future, and we're living it right now. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, people, the world, it's so negative, and everybody wants you to feel like shit and bring you down and tell you that you can't do things. And it just should be fuel and inspiration for you to do things. But, this AI fad, it's going to always be around. I think the only thing that's going to change is a lot of these companies aren't going to be able to monetize soon, which will make them stop doing it. Because this 100% is like Logan Paul on steroids. They're just using these prompts, scraping data, and they're trying to charge you money with this, like, look at this technology. Once legislation passes, these motherfuckers are done. And again, remember, don't feel guilty about using these tools, loops and MIDI files and AI players. Don't feel guilty, because it's coming from you. You have the idea, you have the passion, you have the feelings, you have all of this. It's coming from within inside of you. Don't get sucked into the whole world of like, we're going to be useless. There's enough of it out there. There's people telling you every day that you suck and you're useless and you're worthless. And it's bullshit. Everybody has value and worth, and you need to make music and share that stuff and not get sucked into this AI crap, because it's crap. It's utter crap. And once the inability to scrape this stuff is gone, these people are going to disappear into the darkness, and the lawsuits are going to begin. Right? So go forth, my friends, and make music and be happy and do the things that make you happy. Mistakes will make you better. We'll all rise together, and stay awake. That's the bottom line. I hope you enjoyed today's rant. I hope you feel empowered by today's rant, because that's what this one is about. That's what it's about. Go forth, make music, feel empowered. You have value, yeah? Much more value than AI companies trying to take money out of your pocket. Let's finish today by playing our featured artist, and this dude is amazing. Maze End Music Lab, a fantastic artist who's done a collaboration with this song with a whole group of other people, including, I think, Ron Ward. Who's in this song? Ron Ward, Folk Punk, and Tobias H. Reese has done production on it. This is Maze End Music Lab, aka Jude Capana, and this is a brand new song called The Thread. Pete Johns is up next with Your Music Live, playing your music that you make, no matter how you make it, with loops, MIDI, artificial guitar player, things in Logic or GarageBand. It doesn't matter. It's your music, and Pete's going to be playing it next, and I'll dump you over there. This is Maze End Music, The Thread. See you tomorrow. Let's oja.
A spark of inspiration, ignites and turns the gears in the engine of motivation. Glimmer of hope, a leap of faith, it will exist. I will create. Searching for gold in the middle of busy season. The signs are everywhere, but only if you see them. A palette of pain, a lump of clay, white pig, a twist of fate.
The years of past genius are found in dark eyes. For watching, they realize that all will be dust. To stifling they must be all of their size, allowing life in all of its lies to be as old